With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the Seattle Seahawks. A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Bobby Wagner in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Hey. Here we go. Wide 80. Then we're going to 53. Start there over here. Start there.
Prescott from the gun. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at the 20. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Right there. All day, baby.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
Come on, in and out. Come on, tempo. Hey. Let's go, 14.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. He lets it fly for Lockett. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, third down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. It's early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the Grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, you know, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs, gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
18.
Now Wilson on first down. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
And
he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the shotgun, Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle. Extra point attempt to follow here. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
First down, Prescott. Oh, Prescott stripped.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Prescott now on second down. And the pressure gets to him again. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center.
Here we go, 46. Woo. Here we go, 46. 26. Hey, 47. Start there, over there. Start there.
Third and long for Prescott. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there on third down. 54 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Hey, here we go. 1-8. 1-8.
A first down carry by Elliott. Muscles him off. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
46. 46.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. Dak finding the former Jag Hearns for the Dallas first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, Prescott. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Under. Hey, 47.
Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And that last touchdown drive they had, very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last drive. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
4 down, check. 14.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. That escapes the sack. But now he's swallowed up and taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jalen Smith. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. They'll pitch it out to Elliott. A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys are in for 6. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. After the penalty, it's Fournette. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Play action. Now Wilson. Being chased out left. Now he'll let it go. He's got a man. Complete. That one goes for 36 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
On first down, Wilson steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Randy Gregory in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
19.
From the gun, it's Wilson. To the right side, and he's got more complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Following the interception, here's Prescott. They'll roll him out right. Letting one fly, and got his man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Prescott. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. 7 yards there on the first down screen play. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. On second down, Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
26. Then we're going to 53. Here go 46. 26.
Prescott from the gun on third. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. 1:57 to go in this first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10.
Bang out, bang out, bam, bam. Hey.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Sean Lee, the Pro Bowler, there for the tackle.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Randy Gregory in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Wilson operating from the gun. This is caught by Jackson. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Tempo.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. His throw caught at about the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense, as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now it's Wilson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The running back, Leonard Fournette, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. And before the snap here, we've got a timeout by the offense. It's their first of this first half, and they'll get together and talk this one over. Now the try here for the extra point. Extra point up and through. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. The Cowboys offense heading back out and ready to go again. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Prescott. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. We have hit halftime. Still, all right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And out now come the Seahawks. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You've got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Jackson. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On 2nd down, Wilson. Looking left side, that's caught by Moore. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. A handoff to Fournette. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. Fournette fighting through. And he's got some space here. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
14.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Operating from the gun, Wilson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Now Wilson on second down. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But I believe a Seahawk was able to get a handle on this, so this will remain Seattle ball. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
The holding penalty, that puts him in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal. From the gun, Wilson flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24. They'll try and get the running game going with Elliott. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
There we go. Wide 80. Start there, over there. Over there. Start there. Hey, we're going right there. We're going right there.
They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott steps away. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And out across midfield down to the 45. 23 yards on the play. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Hey, switch. Hey, 47. 26.
A 2nd down throw for Prescott. Escaping the pressure right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And they'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 46. 46. 46.
Prescott from the gun. He's going to look deep down the field. Looking for Hearns, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Thought he had the pick. Flag comes in for PI, so cancel it out.
Interference. Oh, a killer for them. Thought they had a nice play. Instead, they'll be marching off yardage against them.
Here we go. Wide 8. Here we go, 46. 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Here we go, 46, 46. Here we go, 46, 46.
They go play action here on first down. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
Here we go, get that, let's go, get out, get out. Here we go, 47.
They come out here in the eye.
26. 26.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. In for the score. And the Cowboys use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Fournette. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Byron Jones in there to make the tackle.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
So they look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27.
Hey, we go 46. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Cooper was the target there. A critical error there in a tight game of the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. turning it over. Now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On the tackle, it's Randy Gregory. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big third down play.
On third down, Wilson. Right side caught by Jackson. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
A gutsy call. Turns out to be a good one, though. First down on a pickup of 11. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. From the shotgun, Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
18. Let's go, 14. There.
Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, 4th quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. And his kick is good. And that'll bring him back within 4. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start on the ground with Elliott. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
47.
Prescott now on 2nd down. Completes it right side to Cooper. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, go down.
The give is to Elliott. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Everyone's got 4. 26.
They go to Elliott again. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
And indeed, they will keep it on the ground. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
A give to Elliott. And an alley to run. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have recovered.
It's not often that we see big plays end in disaster. And we just absolutely saw it right there. They had something really big cooking on that one.
Can you, when you're down near the goal line like that on a big play, do you get maybe a little too careless, a little too desperate for the goal line?
I think the last part is exactly right. You get desperate for the goal line, and sometimes you get the ball out of him, away from your body, or you're trying to extend to get there, or maybe you're just trying so hard that the ball will come out of your hands. In any event, that's a big opportunity lost.
Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. He hits Baldwin right side. A very solid gain of 27. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. One last shot for Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Well, Charles, they were close in the end, but they couldn't get that last play, that last little miracle play done. They were within striking distance, but couldn't find a way to score.
They definitely had hope. They definitely had opportunity, just unable to cash in at the end. Not an easy play by any stretch, but they definitely had a chance.
So for Dallas, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.